Hello students, Standard 8. In chemistry, the revision of chapter number 4, materials, metals and non-metals is going on. In the previous sessions, we learned about some physical properties of the metals and non-metals. The physical properties of metals and non-metals are totally different from each other. Metals have the shiny luster, their surfaces can be polished, so it can be shine. But on the other hand, the non-metals have dull surface. Only one of the non-metal, iodine, have the luster. Generally, metals are very hard and non-metals are soft and brittle. But in that also there are some exceptions, that sodium and potassium are the metals, but they are soft. In fact, sodium is so soft that you can cut it with the help of a knife, just like you cut a candle made from wax. On the other hand, non-metals are not so hard, but the one of the form of carbon, which is diamond, is the hardest material known on the earth. Similarly, the other, like all the metals are in the solid form except mercury in the liquid form. Non-metals are solid and gases, but only one, bromine, is the non-metal which is in the liquid form. Metals are malleable, ductile, sonorous. Non-metals are none of them. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Non-metals are not, except the graphite. It is also one of the form of the carbon, is good conductor of electricity. Now we are going to learn about some chemical properties of the metals and non-metals. So they also react with some different chemicals, like they react with oxygen, they react with water, they react with acids and some other chemicals. So now we are going to learn about some chemical properties. First is the reaction with oxygen. Because oxygen is such that it reacts with almost so many other chemicals. Now, oxygen with the metals. Metals react with oxygen and produce oxide. So when the metals react with oxygen, generally they make the oxide of the metal. We are familiar with the phenomena which is known as rusting of iron. We know that when the iron materials are kept open in the moist air, then what happened? The layer of rust, little brown color rust is depositing on the surface of the iron articles. So what is that rust? Rust is actually the oxide of iron. So when iron is exposed in the moist air for a long time, it reacts with the oxygen and make iron oxide, which we call as rust, and that phenomena is rusting of iron. Similarly, we also learn about burning of magnesium ribbon. We learn in the standard 6 also, I think. When the magnesium ribbon is burnt on the flame, it burns with the dazzling white flame, very bright flame, and turns into the white powder like ashes. So what is that white powder? Actually, that white powder is the oxide of magnesium. It is known as magnesium oxide. The rust is also iron oxide. Similarly, other metals also react with oxygen and they make oxides of the metals. But not all the metal will react like that with the oxygen, because some of the metals like gold, silver, they are so non-reactive that they will not make any compound with the oxygen. They do not react with oxygen at all. But whichever metal is reacting with the oxygen, as I explained you, they will produce the oxide of that relevant metal. So here, iron plus oxygen makes iron oxide, which we call it rust, and magnesium plus oxygen also gives you magnesium oxide. So now the question arises now that what is the characteristic of that? But before we go on that, we have to talk about the copper. Do the copper also getting rusted? Yes, but in that copper, it does not react with the oxygen. But maybe you have seen that if you have vessels of the copper, then generally in the prayer room you will find some plate of the copper which is used in the religion, some rituals, copper plate, copper glass also, that other, we call it lota, chamchi, lota, etc. So generally when they are kept in the moist weather, open for a long time, then the copper layer is also getting little dull and sometimes having the green coating on it. Maybe you have observed that in your houses, that when they are not used and open in the air, they will have a green colored coating. Actually that green colored coating is that copper is reacting with the carbon dioxide gas in the air, and also it reacts with the water vapor, and they make copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. So that green patches, green layers on the copper vessels you see, that are the mixture. It is a mixture of copper hydroxide, Cu into bracket OH2, and copper carbonate, CuCO3. So that green colored thing is the mixture of these two items. two chemicals, and those chemicals are copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. Now, what is the nature of this metallic oxide? To understand that, we can perform an activity. From surroundings, you must find some articles which have rust on it and collect some of the rust from that article. And then what we have to do? You have to take a little amount of water in a test tube and mix that rust that you collected in the minimum water. Don't take much water. Little water, few drops according to the amount of the iron. If the rust is more, you can add few more drops and make solution. You will see that the rust particles will be suspended. Then you have to shake the test tube very well so that the rust will dissolve in the water. So now you make a solution, rust solution, dissolving the rust in water. So now what we have to do? We have to take the litmus papers, and we know that litmus papers are used to know the nature of the chemicals. They are known as indicators. Now, acid-base indicators are there. There are two types of litmus: blue litmus paper and red litmus paper. So now when we take blue and red litmus paper and insert in the test tube in which we make the solution of the rust and check the color change, you will notice that red litmus paper will turn into the blue color, and there will be no color change in the blue litmus paper. So generally we know that is the characteristic of base. Generally base turns the red litmus paper into blue. If you remember, I gave you a short name also, ABr and BRB. Means acid will turn, Br means blue litmus, into red. BRB means base will turn red litmus paper into blue. So here you will insert the blue and red litmus paper into the rust solution. Then you will observe that, as I told you, red litmus paper will turn into the blue color, while the blue litmus paper will have no color change. It means that solution have basic nature. It means that the metallic oxides are basic in nature. Means when we are dissolving this metallic oxide into water, then that solution acts like a base. Similarly, if you take that magnesium oxide obtained by burning the magnesium ribbon, you collect that ashes and make a solution in the water, and then if you will check the nature by the litmus paper, you will get the same result. It will turn red litmus papers into blue color. So by this activities you can understand that metallic oxides are basic in nature. Now talk about the non-metals. Non-metals also react with oxygen and they also produce oxide. For example, if you burn carbon, coal, also then it react with the oxygen in the air and produce carbon dioxide. That is the oxide of the carbon. Carbon is a non-metal. Similarly, you take sulfur. Sulfur is also a non-metal. When you burn it, it can make sulfur dioxide or sulfur trioxide. Nitrogen gives nitrogen dioxide and so on. So now, as I explained you that non-metals also react with oxygen and make the oxides. Now what is the difference between the oxide of metals and oxide of non-metals? For that also we have to conduct an activity as we did with the rusting of iron. We took that iron and rust and make the solution and check the nature. So here also we can take the sulfur. We have to take powder of the sulfur, small amount, and take a deflagrating spoon, or you can make with the lid of the metallic bottle tied with a wire. Take a little amount of sulfur in it and take a metallic cap of any bottle and wrap a metallic wire if you don't have that deflagrating spoon that is available in the laboratory. Now what we have to do? We have to burn the sulfur. As soon as the sulfur starts burning, insert it into a gas jar that is made up of glass, gas jar, and close it with a lid so that the gas produced does not go out and it remains inside. So when the sulfur starts burning, you have to take a gas jar, put it in that and then close the jar so that the gas will remain inside the jar. Otherwise we cannot taste it because gas will go out in the air. So that is the oxide of the sulfur, which can be sulfur dioxide or it can be sulfur trioxide. If more oxygen is available, it can make sulfur trioxide also. Now, what we have to do? We have to remove the spoon after some time and add a small quantity of water. And then shake it, glass tumbler or the gas jar as I told you. You can take gas jar or the glass tumbler, whatever is available. So after taking out that spoon, you have to add a little water and then shake it well so that the gas can dissolve. And then again taste the nature using the litmus papers. You will observe that here opposite blue litmus will turn into red, but red will remain unchanged. So that is the acidic nature. So non-metals, non-metals oxide are generally acidic in nature. So if you take that sulfur dioxide gas that is produced in this activity that we learn and dissolve in the oxygen, it will make sulfurous acid. If you dissolve the carbon dioxide, it will make carbonic acid. If you dissolve nitrogen oxide in the water, it will make nitric acid. So all are these metallic oxide. Non-metallic oxide. So in general we can say that non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. So here we are complete with the reaction of non-metals and metals with oxygen. In next session we will learn about the more reactions. Here we are going to finish today's session. Will be followed by the PDF, and any confusion write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.